Hey, welcome back. This is week 20 of the 2025 Bluewater Auto Restoration Podcast. We release new podcasts every Saturday morning. In this deep dive, we look at road trips. This is Cruising the Classics, the podcast where rubber meets the road and vintage chrome meets road trip dreams.
I'm your co-pilot, FM Smack Connoisseur and Map Whisper. Whether it's Route 66 or the back roads of Bruce and Huron County, I'm here to make sure your classic car trip is smooth, soulful, and full of stories.
Today's episode is all about how to plan and actually pull off a road trip in a classic car. Not a road trip in your modern SUV with 20 cup holders and a built-in masseuse. I'm talking chrome bumpers, manual everything, and a radio that may or may not work.
We'll talk about choosing the right car, building a route that makes memories, packing like a pro, dealing with hiccups along the way, and yes, the all-important road trip playlist. Because what's a road trip without the right music?
A sad commute, that's what?
Let's start with the car. Not all classics are road warriors. Some are more like pampered garage queens that start whipping coolant the second you hit a hill.
So true. If you're rolling out in a 64 Impala, a 71 Duster, or a Triumph TR6, cool points are high. But make sure it's up for the challenge. That means checking engine health, suspension, brake life, and, trust us, the cooling system. Especially in the summer.
And comfort matters. You might love your vintage bucket seats now, but 300 miles in with no lumbar support and you'll be regretting life choices.
Do a couple of weekend shakedown drives first. Find the weird squeaks, the rattles, the stuff you didn't know was broken until you're too far from a shop.
So you've got the car. Now the route. Anyone can punch in a destination on a GPS. We're talking intentional cruising, scenic routes, hidden gems, diners that serve grilled cheese with 3 types of cheddar.
Avoid highways when you can. Take the lake roads, the old highways, the ones with old barns and cool motels. You're not trying to beat the clock. You're trying to feel the road.
And build in flexibility. Don't lock yourself into tight schedules. You'll want time to stop at that old gas station that still sells glass bottle Coke, or check out the flea market with vinyl records for $1.
And paper maps, people. Your phone will lose signal at the worst time. Learn how to read a map, or at least keep one in the glove box, so you can look like you know how.
Alright, packing time. First, the non-negotiables, tools and a basic roadside kit. Oil, coolant, transmission fluid, jumper cables, duct tape, zip ties, a flashlight and extra batteries, a jack and tire iron that actually fits your car.
And don't forget the Viper kit, blanket, camera, sunglasses, sunscreen, snacks, and water. Also, cleaning wipes. You'll thank yourself after you eat that gas station hot dog with 2 hands and no napkins.
Also, a printed copy of your insurance and registration. You never want to be that guy on the side of the road trying to Google your policy number.
All right, here it is. The essential part of any classic car road trip, the music. You can forget your toothbrush, but you cannot forget the playlist.
We're talking songs that move with the road, that match the rhythm of the tires and the mood of the sky. We've broken it down into categories. Cruising classics for the open road, Radar Love by Golden Earring, Running Down a Dream by Tom Petty, LA Woman by The Doors, Midnight Rider by the Allman Brothers, Life is a Highway by Tom Cochrane, Into the Mystic by Van Morrison, Night Moves by Bob Seger, Fast Car by Tracy Chapman, Harvest Moon by Neil Young, Heroes by David Bowie.
That last stretch, when the sun's going down and the road's all yours. Those are the moments where the right track can make you feel like the main character.
And if you're riding with someone, share the act. A co-created playlist becomes part of the story.
Here's the tip. The unexpected is inevitable. You might get a flat. You might take the wrong road. But don't panic. Embrace it.
Like the time we broke down just outside a small town in Manitoba. Ended up camping under the stars beside an old barn, and the next morning, a retired mechanic helped us out and told us ghost stories while fixing our alternator.
The detours become the memories. Just make sure you have some basic troubleshooting knowledge and a sense of humor. Also, road trip rule number 1. Never get mad at the driver or the car.
Alright, before we wrap things up, let's talk about one of the best kept secrets in the classic car world, car clubs. These aren't just weekend meetups and parking lots. They're full-blown communities, little families on four wheels.
Joining a classic car club is like unlocking a VIP pass to knowledge, stories, and roadside help you didn't know you needed. Plus, you get to hang out with folks who actually want to talk about carburetors for 2 hours.
We're talking Saturday morning coffee meets, Sunday cruises, charity rallies, swap meets, even club road trips that turn into full-blown convoy adventures.
I remember a couple summers ago, we joined a cruise with the Great Lakes Classic Cruisers, 20 cars deep, all vintage beauties. We rolled out through wine country, hit Lake Erie, and ended up at this old-school drive-in movie theater. Everyone parked in a perfect V formation like a scene from Grease.
That night, we watched Bullet on the big screen. Engines cooled, radios tuned in, lawn chairs out. The club brought popcorn. Somebody fired up a little BBQ on the tailgate of a 66 El Camino on Real Vibes.
And when my brake lights crapped out halfway there, 3 people from the club pulled over, tools in hand like it was a pit stop at Le Mans. Fixed it in 10 minutes flat.
1. Shared knowledge. Whether you're a newbie or a lifer, there is always someone who's rebuilt your exact engine twice, and they're usually happy to help.
2. Emergency support. Clubs often have group chats or emergency call trees. If you break down on the road, there's likely someone within an hour who'll come help.
3. Access to events. From closed parking crews into judged shows and cross-country rallies, clubs often get early invites or member-only access.
4. Parts and tools, swap meets, garage sales, or that one guy who has a warehouse full of GM parts just in case. Clubs connect you with resources you can't find online.
5. Friendships and community. This one's the real gold. People from all walks of life coming together over a shared love of old machines. You end up with lifelong friends who know your car and your dog's name.
And hey, don't be shy if you're just getting started. Most clubs love welcoming fresh faces. It's not about how perfect your paint is. It's about passion, effort, and showing up.
Couldn't agree more. Whether you're rolling in a perfectly restored 57 Thunderbird or a rusty Project Camaro held together with hope and duct tape, there's a seat for you.
So, if you're planning a road trip, reach out to a local car club. You might just find a few new friends willing to ride shotgun or show you the back roads only the locals know.
All right, we've covered road trips, playlist, car clubs, but what about the folks behind the scenes? The ones who turn rust buckets into rolling works of art.
That's right, it's time for A Day in the Life of a Classic Car Restorer. These are the people who speak fluent carburetor, whose hands are permanently stained with grease, and who can tell the year of a vehicle by the shape of the taillight.
Now, restoration isn't all shiny paint jobs and posing with finished rides. It's early mornings, late nights, and a whole lot of patience. You're fighting time, rust, and sometimes decades of questionable repairs, done with coat hangers and duct tape.
Let's walk through what a day looks like in a proper restoration garage.
Most restorers are up before the sun. The garage is quiet, the air still smells like primer, and there is usually a mug of strong coffee sitting on a tool cart next to a half-rebuilt engine.
First job of the day, review the checklist. Restoration is all about sequence. You can't install the dash if the wiring isn't run. You can't mount the engine if the frame's not clean. It's like building a puzzle where half the pieces were buried in the 100, 980.
Mid-mornings when the sparks start flying, cutting out rusted floor pans, fabricating new sheet metal, welding in patch panels. It's noisy, it's gritty, and it's absolutely essential.
This is the unglamorous stuff. You're in a welding mask, crawling under a car from 1964, removing bolts that haven't moved in 50 years. And when they finally snap free, it feels like a small victory.
Lunchtime, if it even happens, is often eaten over the hood of a car while the paint booth heats up. Painting is an art form. It takes patience, skill, and the world's steadiest hand.
And when it's custom work, pinstriping, ghost flames, matching that original factory red from 1955, that's when the shop becomes a studio.
Afternoon hits and it's time to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. This part's either smooth as butter or a swear word symphony, depending on how well the teardown was documented.
You're reinstalling trim, wiring up gauges, polishing chrome, aligning doors, and yes, you will lose a 10 mil socket in the process.
If the stars align, you get to fire up the engine. That first rumble after months or even years of work chills. You don't hear the exhaust, you feel it.
And if it rolls out under its own power, there's nothing quite like it. A perfectly rebuilt ride gliding across the shop floor, sunlight hitting that fresh, clear coat. Chef's kiss.
There was this one time, a 49 Buick Roadmaster came into the shop. The owner was in his 80s. It had been his dad's car, parked in a barn since 1971.
We took it down to the frame, full rebuild. It took nearly a year, and the day we rolled it out, that man stood in the sun, touched the hood, and said, "This smells like my childhood." Man, that one got me.
That's the thing, restoring cars isn't just metal and parts, it's memory restoration. You're not just rebuilding a machine, you're giving someone their past back.
So, to all the classic car restorers out there, whether you're working from a pro garage or wrenching in your driveway, hats off to you.
Chewy, you're the reason these machines still breathe, and more importantly, you're the reason they still roll.
So there you have it, road warriors. From the prep to the playlists, a classic car road trip is part strategy, part spontaneity, and all heart.
Plan well, pack smart, keep the music playing, and don't forget to look out the window every once in a while. There's beauty out there, if you're not staring at your phone.
This is Cruising the Classics.
And I'm Valentes. Until next time, keep your tank full, your wheels rolling, and your speakers turned way up. Safe travels, friends.